On this edition of Rizzo and Jeff's FM Unfiltered, we're going to get into a couple things. One, Rochester. I didn't know you could just commandeer somebody's goddamn house.
Yeah, like a mobile home type house, like a prefab. But I guess you can just about take anything. They'll take anything here in Rochester.
So you could just commandeer a house. We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about the plane piss. The plane piss, I think, is one of the hardest pisses that one can do. And when you're prevented from a plane piss, and we're going on a plane soon,
right?
Problems can happen.
Yeah, are you concerned about this plane piss? Or
you know what it is? I always, and I'll be honest with you, I'll tell the truth. I always go number 2 before. What's up, Ray? What's going on, Mike? What's going on, Steve? I always go number 2 before I get on a plane, but inevitably, I always have to go number 2 on the plane.
Really?
I always have I got to do a number 2 on the plane. It's like I don't
like
know why.
Like your bowels just get scared or something of that nature. I have no problem. And here's the deal, and I've talked about this before on the show.
Yeah.
I am not a shy public restroom user, no matter what scenario, what the case may be.
No, you just...
If I have to go, I will go. If it's on an airplane and I got to squat, I will squat. I will do what I have to do. I'm not seeing these people ever again in my life.
So you don't even care?
Concerned. No, not whatsoever.
See, and I'll say this. There's this story about how this woman, and I will say this, we are not going to be on Spirit Airlines. I am excited about not being on... Are we going to be on Spirit? What are we on? Do you remember? I'm going to pull it up.
I think it might be Delta.
Is it Delta? We're not that friggin' fancy, are we? Hold on, let me see.
Why don't I forget now?
I forget. You know what? I'm just going to pull it right on up here. All right, hold on. Let's see. What are you? Flight. FLIGHT. We're talking about the plane piss. Then we're going to get into commandeering a home. Delta.
Delta, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Delta, that's a quality ride. And it's, we'll probably get in and out, not delayed, thank God. So,
yeah, looking forward to that. I will say this, though. I am a little nervous. I'm a little upset that Rochester. What's going on? Excuse me. By the way, real quick, our Italian friend, Roberto.
Yeah.
His daughter, I think, turned 22 or 23, so happy birthday. I didn't realize he was that old.
Oh, that's the partying age. Yeah, that's when you're really hitting the scene. You're getting out there with your friends.
Well, so it makes me, it kind of lends me to my question. You are, let's say, a dad, a parent of somebody in their 20s. They get on a Spirit Airlines flight. They have to pee. They are prevented from taking a piss on a plane. How do you react? I mean, you know that there's that one pig that blows up the bathroom every time he or she, it's usually a woman.
Which is, and listen,
let's
not be shy here.
Okay.
Women's restrooms are might be more disgusting than men's restrooms.
Oh, without a doubt.
Right?
Without a doubt.
And where I worked before, down in Tampa, we had this woman, and you would just know her by her shoes. And when she would go into the restroom, and you wouldn't look at this woman.
So she wasn't basically a bodger.
Right. You wouldn't say to her, she just ate a block of cheese. Right?
Okay.
Like, you think she does well, but
okay.
What I learned is that she was a destructive force inside the women's restroom, and so you just never really know. So there were girls that worked there that would go in, and would see her shoes. She'd wear like the same shoes, and they would just turn around and leave and wait for her to finish. You know what?
It's interesting, and this is all stemming from this story about somebody who was prevented from taking a plane piss. Then she just spread them and went spread eagle, peed on the floor in a Spirit flight. We'll talk about that, but it begs the question: men and women, with the exception of your 600 pounds, it's the dainty men and women that often blow up the bathrooms.
Oh, sure.
Way worse than the fatties. Don't you? I mean,
no, look. Let's not say that there's not some fatties there that'll take care of business.
Okay.
But it tends to be. You're right on that.
Right.
And this woman just became synonymous with it.
Really?
So and you would know, and no shame in her game either.
So she just went in there, dropped, and, it just was what it was.
Yep. And like I said, the other ladies had to if they had to go, it looks like they were using the bush out back because this woman was an ass dragon.
I think we did a show, and it was when we first got here, where there was women, I believe they were at a doctor's office or something like that here in Rochester. I think they worked at Rochester Regional, and I think they said something where, do you remember the show, Jeff, where they talked about having a bathroom schedule?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Where they would have it down, like it would be a wink, a laugh, a cough, whatever it was. They knew when everybody went, and it was a polite way of going about doing things. I do remember that, yeah.
So I guess my thought is, if that's you, is there always going to be that fat ass dragon in said office? Like, have you ever worked somewhere where everyone was a polite peer, polite pooper? There's always a rude person.
Yeah. There's an animal amongst us everywhere you work.
Yes.
And, you could just tell they're the ones where the office is quiet, but you hear the Dorito bag ruffling in the drawer, and they're slipping in, and they have all the snacks, and then, it's a huge chicken sausage parm sandwich, all those kind of things.
And what's funny? It's often, and I said this, and you know what? She'll kill me for saying this, but dating a much thinner, smaller woman, I have noticed that they are the ones who can eat.
Yeah.
And blow up the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I'll never understand it.
Well,
I'll never friggin' get it.
See, what you do, you say to yourself, you take a look at a Mimi.
Right.
Mimi just has no care in the world.
Right.
And Mimi's going to cause some destruction.
Right.
And they're the ones that don't always do that. They take a little more care in the workplace because everybody looks at them as if they're going to blow up the bathroom. So they don't.
Right, so you're saying that the more that you look like a bathroom hag, the less likely culprit you are of being a big fat bathroom hag.
Right, and so you go out of your way to make sure, or you take your lunch break and stop back by home or things of that nature, so you don't have to do it at work.
It's funny because didn't you say, maybe I'm confusing you with somebody else, but didn't you also say that you knew somebody who would actually never go to the bathroom at work?
Josh Jensen. He would always, my buddy Josh.
Okay.
He would always, he would leave for work every day. And he actually moved.
Okay.
I'm going to line you into my complex because it was so close to work.
Now, this is when you were in Tampa. Okay.
He could go. He lived all the way over in St. Pete. It's a long drive.
Okay.
So he did this one. So he moved because I live right up the street from work, and he moved there just specifically because he goes home and uses the bathroom in the middle of the day.
And I guess, is it because he was he large? Explain, for the people who don't know Josh Jensen, what was his body like? Yeah. Remember how we described Andy Reid's body? Describe his body.
He was a little, I wouldn't say fat, but he was a little pudgikins. And, he enjoyed his Bud Lights on the weekends and things of that nature. So, but he, that was the one thing. So you wouldn't look at him and go, this is a big fat pig. You just go, all right,
This is somebody who... Okay. So you could lose a couple of LBs, but he's okay. Did he do something to make him go? And this is all stemming from a woman because I want to get to what you do when you're in a plain piss situation. Was he somebody who maybe blew up the bathroom and got shamed for it at your workplace?
Yeah, I don't know. He worked towards the back of the building. Okay. So I didn't get to see him too much.
Okay.
And no, in the course of a day. Remember, I did a night show, so by the time I got in, everybody was pretty much gone.
Okay.
So I don't know too much about his bowel movements, but I know that he left, and I know that he left every day.
I'll say this, and for those of you, we're also going to get into our listener-generated reality TV show, and what that means is tomorrow, Jeff, we're having issues on deciding where to go for being slut stars.
Yeah, and it's something that I want to think about. I want to kind of think it through.
Yeah.
People really seem to like us, walking down the main streets of Monroe. I don't think we're going to do that every time.
No,
because one time you're going to gamble and it's going to cost you.
Well, and Baby Hand said that. Yeah. She said, I got to be honest with you, you guys, we almost got jumped by teenagers. I almost got stabbed going to my car. I got into a fight when you weren't here. I think we need to go to a different place. But then again, I don't know what to do because we need to go somewhere where we can do stuff. So what do you think about going to like a bouncy house? Does anyone know where a bouncy house is?
Yeah, we could tour the cemetery and go see Susan B. Anthony.
We could.
A bounce house. I'm not going to be any good at the bounce house.
Real quick, let's see. What about poor construction? Bob just stuck on a construction site with the porta-johns. Yeah. Have you ever had a bad porta-john experience? I've always had positive porta-john experience.
Yeah, I'm sure you just run into, whatever it is. I mean, I can't think of every porta-potty story, but I'm sure that there's been one or two that were unsavory, but you know me. Gotta go.
So the reason that we're talking about this is because there was a woman, this is like a big story today, there was a woman who was blocked from using the bathroom on Spirit Airlines. Now, Spirit Airlines, I never had a problem. You're a cheap ass, so you and I would fly Spirit Airlines all the time.
I would. I used them. I really had... you get a delay here and there, but I've never had like a crazy story on there. I would use them a lot when we lived in Detroit. It was cheap for me to go back to Philly. And then even when I lived in Tampa, it was that flight flew right into like Atlantic City. So it was just an easy kind of thing for me to do. A delay here and there, but nothing that really, and these crazy goddamn stories that you read all the time, I haven't been privy to any of them.
Well, this woman, she took a Spirit Airlines flight, and she was filmed, spread eagle, urinating on the floor, because she said that the Spirit crew did not, in any way, allow her to piss, her words, in the floor. And thank you for the stars, by the way. We listen. We appreciate him. It keeps us going. Yeah. 50 stars gets Florida on Spirit. Yeah. Listen, thank you. We appreciate it. We are going to be doing some crazy shit, so we appreciate the love. But make sure that you're star saving for tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. But hey, send us. Listen, whatever.
We ain't turning them down.
We ain't turning them down. Yeah. Let's see. Anyway, so you're on Spirit Airlines. How do you feel about this situation?
Well, what was the reasoning behind them not letting her on? Was it a time where everybody had to take their seat and things of that nature? And you got to understand that if you're somebody that dials up some cocktails before you get on, I've done that before where I've had them, and then you're kind of like halfway, you're up there and you can't walk around yet, and you really got to go.
You're someone who hates to fly.
Right, I'm not a huge fan.
So, there are people who, now me, I'm going to have to take a lot of Valium. You'll have to have a couple cocktails. If you have to oh, it is 5 o'clock. It is 5 in the morning. If you have to, okay, I'll have to take a couple Valium. If I have to take a piss and I'm stopped, call me Clinton Avenue Ken. I'm whipping out my beautiful peg and I'm peeing.
Yeah, that happens at least 3 or 4 times a week here. You'll see the fine citizens of Rochester down the street. Literally, they will stop in the middle of the day. And if nothing's going on, and just whip it out and piss next to the building.
I will say this, just so we're clear. If you are not a subscriber to the Rizzo and Jeff Patreon, there must be 5 or 6 naked dicks on there, not ours,
right?
But just penises.
Yeah, it's a Patreon of dicks.
It's a cacophony of dicks,
and it's not. And we're not going to dick seeking here, right?
We don't seek that.
We walk out and there it's at. It's right there.
It's like imagine, think about wherever you are. You walk out of your home. Yeah, to the left, there's a bush. To the right, there's a mailbox. Us, to the left, there's a dick. To the right, there's faces.
Right. That's what you get it. So
needles to the front.
Needles to the front. You got it. So
not now.
You're fortunate to live where you're at, Henrietta, wherever it might be.
It's and I will say this as we are getting into the lean years, the lean times, and that's why we're doing our slutting for stars,
right?
And our big video tomorrow, which again we'll get into. But I just think that the fact that this woman was tased, arrested, she was charged with indecent exposure. when she wasn't allowed, boy, I don't know if you've ever been on a Spirit flight, but if you've been, I've seen things on a Spirit. I saw some guy sucking tits on
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It was me and Josh when we went to Denver.
You went to Denver.
I went to Denver
with no money.
So
I was like, don't go. You can't go.
I couldn't. And here's the truth about that story. I had just taken this job. I didn't know Jeff that well. I certainly didn't know Josh that well. Jeff had a very successful top 40 show before he joined me, and so it was his show. And Jeff, the practical person that Jeff is, says, "Here's the deal, tits. You don't have any Fozzies." And I didn't get my first. Was it like first or second paycheck? It was something ridiculous.
Maybe not even right. And then rent's going to be coming due and
right.
everything like that. And then you do the irresponsible thing of going to Denver with nothing, and then he had to lend you money to help you, and then wanted the payback.
But that's the whole thing. It was like, I bought you the ticket, I bought you the stuff, you have to come. But I'm in a situation where I'm like, I'm joining a show, I don't know these guys, I'll go with this guy. I don't mind, Denver's cool.
Beer fest. To
a beer fest with his family. And then I go with his family, and then he's like, by the way, you just pay me back. He just spends like $2,000. And I'm just like, Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Yeah. I have literally no money.
Right. Yeah. And those things can get expensive real fast, those beer fests, because it's
because then you get drunk and then you buy.
You're eating everything, right?
Yeah. And then you buy T-shirt. But they had these pretzel necklaces. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, we're on the flight over there. And of course, he wants to rent a Mustang to go to a weed store. So he rents a Mustang. Not cheap. Goes to a weed store, drops a couple hunch on the weed. Okay? Every kind of weed you can get. We're driving back to this hotel. We're driving, whatever it is that we stay at, where his family's at. And I'll never forget, as we're getting off the plane, because you load back, anyway. Yeah. I'm walking, and you know how there's some people, I call them stragglers, that sit back until everyone gets off the plane? Mm-hmm. There was this African-American man. He was with a larger woman. Mm-hmm. And he just started sucking tit. And he was sucking tit in Denver like I've never seen somebody suck tit before.
Well, just because you're a pussy and you wouldn't do it.
Tell me.
Man,
okay.
He has no problem.
Okay, let me ask you something. Tell me you would suck tit in front of 300 people. You would never do such a thing.
You got to understand, some people just have no care of the world. He was going to Denver, probably going to Beer Fest, probably going to get some weed, and he was, just living it up.
I guess.
But what an interesting move to make.
A tit suck in an airplane?
Yeah, it is. What makes you say, oh man, this is what I want to do? How do you get to that point on the plane? At least you could have got handsy, right? You could have. But what just made you,
suck tit?
Just this, where's that gonna take you? What's the finish of that?
That's a great question. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. How do you get to there? So, what would sucking tit be? Would that be second base, third base?
Yeah, but what do you say on the plane? You go, I want to suck on him, and then.
Well, okay, so I would assume they'd have been making out, right? Okay. Maybe. And then but you're making out as the plane's landing, and then
what does that do for anybody involved here? Right?
Right, because you're not touching any body part.
You're not finishing anything else.
Right.
You're just sucking on it. Who cares?
I'm not a woman. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, when I see baby hands, I'll ask her, does tit stimulation?
I'm sure there's a part of it that does, but,
I assume that'd be like blue balls.
Right, but you gotta understand, what's the end game? Okay.
You're saying on the plane.
Right, there's no finish to it.
There's no, okay. Right. So, okay. Yeah. Meaning like, if you're touching another body part, there could be an inevitable land.
Yes. Well, at this, it's just, you're playing with the decorations.
So then let me ask you something. Is that and I'll call it a dick measuring contest. Is he saying?
Oh yeah.
It's right?
Yeah.
He's saying I just suck some tits.
Right. He's looking at you guys getting off the plane saying, look at these slobs.
Right. Look at these fat bodgaloops. They're poor.
Right.
Well, one of us was.
Right. Let me show you what I can do.
And so I'll never listen, and I mean this, like I'll never forget it. We were walking down, and to the left, this woman had to be $3 bills, Jeff.
Yeah.
This woman had to be $3 bills.
He had to two-hand those puppies out of the shirt.
Okay, and right, and this woman's $2 bills, Jeff, $3 bills, and this guy's maybe 110 pounds.
Yeah.
We're driving, and pretend that's it, right? So we're walking by, people are walking by this way, and he's like this.
Oh, so he's going.
And you can hear you can hear it.
Like a Tootsie Roll.
You can hear it like a Tootsie Pop. Okay. And everyone looked, but he never stopped.
He didn't break stride.
He didn't break stride. Tongue on tit whole time.
Good for him. That's a hero to some.
I don't know. That was a weird trip all in all. Because it just got weirder from there. I should have known that when tongue on tit happened, that it would just stay weird.
Well, look, I wasn't going on that trip.
You weren't. You were adamant about that.
No, it's just too far. I don't feel like it. I didn't want to go to Denver or anything like that. I don't know. It was just bizarre. It was just a bizarre thing. And I forget how the show had to play out. I believe I remember. Was it you and the very talented Sydney Leon Johnson? Maybe it was Jess, the girl that was there. Maybe it was Jess. I think it was just me and her. Yeah.
Okay. And okay. And I want to get to this house thing that happened, because I didn't know that in Rochester you could just go steal whatever the hell you want, but up to and including a house. This is an interesting question. You two went to Sandals. What's your best Sandals memory? For those of you who don't know, Jeff and I were they gave us a trip to Sandals because we thought we were secure in our position being the influence of the year, and boy, we were wrong.
Well, I had found out, actually, we found out about that Sandals trip.
It's true.
We were not first selected.
We were not first, second, or third.
Was it Jeremy? Is that his name?
It was Julie first.
Julie.
Who was pregnant. Then Jeremy Newman.
Yeah.
Who he had a bait and tackle store that just meant more to him than anything.
He said, "Take your sandals and shove it. I'm not going." And then it turned into us, and then we show up.
No, I think it was the mayor.
Yeah.
So I think it was this girl,
he
Julie.
Wasn't even there. The mayor wasn't there
in October.
No, they had to let him go. He wasn't there.
I could have sworn they wanted. I thought it was Julie, Newman, and then literally somebody else. Was it Hydale?
You know, no, I don't think so either. No, I think they thought, and then here's the funny thing about it.
Yeah.
Is that we did so much work on
social
media and stuff, and I'm telling you, we had like 200 pictures, all kinds of videos, and the girl, because I know that she wants to take these trips. It's like her thing she does every year.
Yep.
That she only sent like 10
pictures
of like to show the Sandals people all the work we did.
We did like 75 videos. Like you guys, I mean, we hashtag jaw marketing. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And you're right. It was only like one page of stuff that she said. And we sent, I have the email. It's like 55 attachments of like 10 and 20,000 people.
Because they're going to want us every time after that.
Yes.
So, but Sandals, I don't know. It was all right. The bartender guy was a little crazy. Too many bees.
A lot of
bees.
A lot of bees.
At the bar.
At the pool bar, right?
Yeah.
He was making these weird banana-y drinks, and he was very animated, but you're right. He was, I don't know, I thought maybe he was...
No, what about the time that we were going on that cruise, that night cruise?
With the girls?
And they took us into town. And then into the park, and the bus was stopped by people. Do you remember
the
that?
Cop? That's right. It was no. The cop was other. It was just stopped by random people.
Right.
And we all got scared, thinking that we were going to get molested.
Yeah.
Because we went into the hood because
that's where you had to go to get on the ship.
Because it was a Sandals catamaran, but you had to go around the entire island
to get to it.
Yeah, to
where we need to go.
That's right. Well, you know what? I did like the island. Did you like it? Because we got to meet up with some radio people that were actually kind of cool. Like, I enjoyed the island. I didn't. Yeah.
What do you like about the island? It's a friggin' island in the Bahamas. How could you hate it?
What I didn't like, though, and I'm going to be real with you, is that all I could eat was one burger and one slice of pizza.
They
had so much shit there, but it was all weird.
I know, but I remember I got wings, I got all kinds of different things, and then then they had the different restaurants and stuff. But the one pub I think was just the best. That was American Fare.
The American pub.
Yeah, kind of stay with that. We went to a big dinner there, and they were just feeding us all kinds of shit. I didn't even know what it was.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. We were there with radio people. I'll tell you, we got so wasted that one night where like there was this guy who got engaged. I just remember being at like a wedding on the beach with a Cuban guy who like gave me a cigar. It was weird.
Yeah. That day was flowing a little bit.
That was a day.
The light beers or whatever they were. I was just drinking the straight up Bohemian beers.
But see that's what was weird. You just stayed the entire trip with this shit light beer.
Yeah, but you were mixing.
And I was doing cocktails.
I know. You were hammering down the cocktails.
And you were just, and they came in 8-ounce glasses.
Yeah, wonder why your blood sugar.
Oh, that's right. My blood sugar. I came home. My blood sugar was like 600.
I know, it said like hospital.
It did say hospital.
You weren't red from the sun.
Yeah, no, that was my diabetes. Speaking of, we did eventually come home. Now, my question is, I want you to imagine coming home. Whether you're coming from the Bahamas, somebody's pissing on Spirit Airlines. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, somebody's spreading cheek. And somebody's commandeered your home. That happened recently, Jeff. Is that the truth?
And maybe some people could jump in on this and kind of help us out a little bit. I was looking at some of the details of it on Twitter, but basically, those prefab type of homes and stuff.
So, like,
at some point between like Friday night into Saturday,
right?
It got hitched up and it's gone. How the hell do you do that?
Wait.
And the woman is offering a reward.
So somebody put back the truck.
Yeah.
Put a thing on the ball.
Yeah.
And drove the home with all of its contents out there.
Just completely left with it. Yep. So think about that. I mean, this is only in Rochester.
Thank you. That was a professional transition. I appreciate that.
Only in Rochester does stuff like that happen. It's unbelievable.
You know what? And I'll be honest with you. I'm getting sick of it.
And then I think I saw today in Lonsbury, I think he said somebody was stabbed downtown.
I could tell you that. Yeah. Just look at our goddamn Facebook.
I know.
Bobby Lons, let me ask you something. Do you think Bob misses us? Because before I get to where we should go tomorrow and put a little pretty bow on this thing, because of course the doctor sent my prescriptions to the wrong pharmacy, so I have to go pick them up in, 1000 South Clinton Avenue, between Ketchum and Rialto Streets, is where I have to go to pick up my prescriptions. My doctor sent my prescriptions. An ouchie. I am going to die, E.
Yeah, that's an ouchie.
I am going to die, E.
Yeah, well, you need them, so you got to get them.
But see, this is the thing.
Yeah.
So then, and I got to be honest with you, you would think, maybe I'm wrong, you would think that when you write a prescription, you're familiar with the area. You would look at me, you would say, okay, he's a little overweight, he's bald.
But
he's
is that the area that he belongs in?
Well, this is I don't know. I think,
Why don't you give people a tour while you're down there, huh? The area.
Well, if people want me to.
Yeah.
I mean, now, that could be something we could do for stars. I mean, because if you think about it, and I think this is a good way, because we want to do...
Things haven't been working out very well in the city of Rochester. 2 white dudes rolling around.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. And this is an idea that Baby Hands brought up. What if we were to get on the bus and take the bus and do an entire bus ride, get off in the hood, then come back?
Get off in the hood and then come back?
Right, so
have you spent a lot of time looking outside the bus station here?
I've spent some time.
Okay. So
I've spent some time.
So you see it
do.
When you are out there, okay? You can see, the people that are on the bus, and they're not safe either. They're just as dangerous. Then they don't want you talking, yapping the whole time on Facebook Live.
Okay.
And somebody's going to get mad. Then,
I didn't even think about that. Okay, so, all right. So maybe I'll do a quick video when I go to pick up these prescriptions, because this is going to, when you see where this is, if you are not familiar, Jeff, do you remember when we accidentally had to go, when we first got here, we went to the Valero?
Yes.
Okay. It's like 6 blocks past the Valero on the right-hand side.
And they can't send it to your...
No. They can't send it. It is a must pick up at Murdering.
Okay.
Like Tupac and Suge Knight are there as the pharmacists.
Yeah. People are going to know what you're there for. You got to be careful. If it's anything like that McDonald's on Monroe where people just knock on your window if you try to go get a cheeseburger.
I'm going to be honest with you, though. I went to this pharmacy one time because my regular pharmacy was out. And this is the God's honest truth. There is a lady who sits on a lawn chair and solicits pee-pee smooches. I am not making that up.
You've been solicited for that several times.
Pee-pee smooches? Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have.
You have gotten that several times.
I have.
Yeah.
Is there something about me that says I'm open to the pee-pee smooch?
I don't know. It's just that maybe you just look like a guy that
pays for them.
That pays for them. Yeah.
I look like a guy that pays for the pee-pee smooch. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm looking, and I don't like this. Listen, Sea Breezer, Ontario Beach, Park Walk, the Pier. What adventures and follies could we get there?
A lot of people go out to the pier, but it's there's some generally nice folks that are out there on the pier.
But the goal is, and you guys know this. We're slutting for stars. We do our weekly, walkabout for stars. We made good money last week when we do our show. We just wanted to do a regular show today. We appreciate the people who send stars. But we want you to save them for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the day.
Yeah. Look, keep firing ideas because
Hudson Avenue Walmart.
Yeah. Because keep firing ideas because we're going to come up with something by tomorrow. We're trying to. I think we're trying to make that decision. Do we live in danger and fear, or do we do something fun? We're kind of like on the fence.
Right. Fun or I hate to say it, but he is right. We've made the cologne. We've never been.
I think I brought this up the other day.
We've never been live.
I did bring it up the other day.
Rizzo and Jeff, live from LYELL for stars.
I'll go live from LYELL.
You want to go live from LYELL?
I'll go live from LYELL. And I'm sure that there's, some interesting characters.
That would talk to us, or
we'll talk to them. Live from LYELL.
I'll tell you what. That's perfect way. Oh, real quick. This is the last day I'm going to be going down to Jason's house tomorrow if I live, because I will go live from this wall. What is this? A Rite Aid? Ramona. She's a dance teacher. Her name's Ramona Reuter. She's a Buffalo Jill and former Miss New York. I know I'm getting cans from Champion and a few other people in our messaging. But she owns Studio East Dance. Her daughter, she's a middle schooler. Their house was burned down.
Stealing houses, burning houses, stabbing people.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? Right? Stop it.
Yeah.
So she's collecting cans. So I will be doing a whole can collection tomorrow.
Okay.
I have a meeting with the unemployment people.
Yeah, that should be a real blast.
I'm nervous about. Because they're going to say, you got to do like work search requirements. And like in our business, it's not. I'm nervous, Jeff. I'm nervous that I'm going to be flubbering in the unemployment interview.
I don't think that it's any kind of, interview. I think it's a thing where they're going to, walk you through what you think, help you with your resume, do that kind of thing. I think it's going to be more that than anything else.
You know what? I will say this. I think that the lady was a former listener of ours, because I want to show you an email, and then we're going to wrap this up because I am going to go live from getting this prescription because I need your safe juju. However, labor. Okay. Now, her name is Erin from the Department of Labor. So
Are you bothering her?
Wait a minute. No, I'm showing her what we send. Now listen, and I want you to tell me the truth here. Hold on. I got a smiley face from her. Hold on. Well, of course I can't see it on regular, but she sent me, Jeff, a smiley face. face.
Okay.
So the woman from the Department of Labor, I feel like sent a flirty smiley face my way.
Okay. Well, it's a good situation to be involved in. Maybe she'll offer up a blowy. Since you look like that type of guy.
What? I look like the kind of guy who would accept. Yeah. You know what? Who knows? I will be going live as I pick up these prescriptions. Jeff and I. What time do you want to do this tomorrow, my friend?
Well, it's really up to you. Scooting around. Obviously, before sunset would be nice. So.
Okay. Let's see. Will Kathy Hochul count your stars as income? We don't know.
Probably already did.
Probably already has. You want to do this before dark?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be there.
Well, okay. Well, it's got. So I would figure maybe because this time so this is a little too late. I'm noticing when we go at 5:30. So I think 6:30 is when we get the most.
Somewhere about 6:30.
Right.
And give you a good half hour.
Right.
On location.
Because we got 500 people watching last time we did it. So I think, are we going to do live on LYELL?
I think that's the leader in the clubhouse right now.
Rizzo and Jeff live on LYELL. What are we going to do? If people send us, if we make good money, do we have to go up and ask for a handy? How much is a handy?
Well, that all depends. But I think we're on the prowl on LYELL. So that's basically what it is tomorrow. Rizzo and Jeff on the prowl on LYELL. Okay.
So we're pulling an Arthur Shawcross.
Well,
we're going live on LYELL on the prowl. Well, Rizzo and Jeff on the prowl.
People hear about LYELL. Nobody travels down there, so
don't.
It's for us to just show people, basically what it's like, and then you don't want to get arrested for solicitation of prostitution.
That is true.
And that is true.
To us,
so
that would.
Yeah.
You know what? If we did, I bet you we'd get so many stars. If one of us got bopped.
They have to be used for bail.
They would have to be used for bail.
We need them for rent.
Yes, you're absolutely right. All right, I'll tell you what. Rizzo and Jeff live from LYELL tomorrow, 6 p.m. Right? Is that fair?
I like it.